status or financial credit. I'm not the kind to let it go below average. But if you let me hit it, that your ass get fatter. And if you let me kiss it, that'll make it better.
Yo!
If you don't do you right,
yeah.
I'ma creep like an eye. And we gon' turn out the light.
Yeah.
So tell them all your time.
What's going on, all my players and playettes out there in Radio Land? This is your gracious host. This is Tariq Elite. Welcome to the Mack Lessons Radio Show. Glad to have everybody tuning in. Want to chop up some very good game today, as I always do. When do I not chop up good game, people? Today's show is brought to you by Mack Lessons.com. That's where you can get a whole gang of Mackin products. You can get all the pay-per-view specials, all the downloads. You could get the Mack Lessons DVD, but we're sold out. We're officially sold out of the Mack Lessons DVD, but I will have some more copies sold coming soon, so I'll keep you posted on that. Also want to give a shout out to everybody on the greatest message board in the world, upasite.com. That's the United Players of America message board. That's where you can chop up game with other players such as yourself. And don't forget to go to theartofmackin.com to get the Art of Mackin book. And go to theartofgolddigging.com for all you ladies out there to get a copy of the book, The Art of Gold Digging, so you can really step your game up. Now, today's show, I'm going to be talking about the Gigolo game. I'm going to be dropping some science on the Gigolo game because a lot of brothers have become finance conscious, money conscious, so I want to drop some tips on you. Now, if you really want to step your money game up, you can go to the pay-per-view special Mackin for Money. That's where I get real deep into the game. Because today's show, I'm just going to hit the tip of the iceberg and give a few examples. But if you really want to get deep into the money-making game, how to Mack for money, get the pay-per-view special Mackin for Money. So I'm going to be dropping some game about the Gigolo and how to step your game up that way in the show. Now, before I get into that, let me talk about some stuff that's going on in the news. A few weeks ago, I said that they're going to have a book about Michael Jackson within 2 weeks. Well, 2 weeks have passed, and there's a book about Michael Jackson today called Michael Jackson's Last Days or something like that. I heard the guy on the radio, so I was correct in that. I hate to pat myself on the back, but I said in 2 weeks they're going to have a new book about Michael Jackson, and damn if they didn't have it damn near 2 weeks to the day. So please don't get deterred by all the media stuff about Michael Jackson. I've been saying that on the last couple of shows. I don't want to seem like I'm beating a dead horse, but I just want people to stay focused on the legacy. But I digress. Another situation that happened last show I talked about Steve McNair. A lot of people like that show. I'd like to thank everybody for checking that show out. Another athlete has been killed by his significant other. A boxer by the name of Arturo Gatti allegedly was strangled by his wife down in Brazil. They were down in Brazil, and they're saying that his wife killed him in his sleep. So that's a real crazy thing that's happening right now, man. A lot of cats have to be careful. What's funny, I won't say funny, but what's trippy, the boxer Arturo Gatti, I got into a fight with this dude at a hotel about 8-9 years ago out here in LA. And I was going to talk about it on the show before, but I didn't want to talk about it because I knew the guy was, married. I didn't want to put his business out there like that while he was alive. But I seriously, no bullshit, I got into a street fight with this motherfucker. I was at the St. Regis Hotel in Century City. This was around 2001 or 2002. It's kind of fuzzy because, it happened a while ago and it happened very quickly. But the St. Regis Hotel is in Century City, and a lot of boxers, I found out later, stayed at this hotel. I been up there before many times, and I've seen like Lennox Lewis and a couple of other boxers up there. So this hotel is frequented by professional boxers. Now, at the time, I had no idea who Arturo Gatti was, because I'm not really that into the boxing game. But I had no idea who this guy was. But I would go to the St. Regis Hotel because it's in Century City, and that's, like I said, right next to Beverly Hills. And I would go to a lot of meetings there after hours because that's when The Art of Mackin' it just came out, and a lot of executives were offering me TV shows, and the people at Fox, I would meet with them sometimes after hours because the Fox station, the Fox network is right over there by the hotel. And I just did a lot of business over there at that hotel. Very swanky, very posh hotel. And at the time, a lot of girls would hang around me. I would always have a couple of girls with me because I'm a player. So anyway, I'm at the St. Regis Hotel. I go to a meeting. I'm in one of the penthouse suites. So after the meeting, I'm coming out the penthouse suite with a couple of girls. And we pass by this one suite, and I see this little short Puerto Rican looking dude standing in the doorway in a very nice suite. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing in this nice shit? Not to say that Puerto Ricans can't have nice shit, but it just seems strange, this little dude just standing in the doorway of some real nice shit, blasting music at a very posh hotel. So anyway, I'm walking to the elevator, me and the girls, and Arturo, the guy who was standing in the door, was Arturo Gatti, and it was like one other guy with him. And he saw the girls I was with, and I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt at first because he don't know which girl I'm with. So he kind of tries to holler at one of the girls. He's like, hey, what's up, baby? You know, I'm having a party in the room. Come on in the room, you know. So I'm not really tripping because, again, he don't know which one I'm with. So he's, you know, that's fair game in his mind, and I can understand that. So I wasn't tripping. I wasn't offended. I just left it up to the girl to kind of rectify the situation. So the girl was like, you know, no, thank you. I'm with him. She's pointing to me. No, I'm with him. So after she says that, Arturo was like, yeah, fuck him. Come on up in the room. I'm like, oh, word? Okay, now I'm disrespected. But at first, I mean, when somebody says something real disrespectful to you, at first you don't catch it. I'm like, I know this motherfucker just say what I think he said. For a minute, I thought I was hearing things. You ever had something done to you so disrespectfully you don't even believe it? That's how I was for like a split second. I'm like, did this motherfucker just blatantly disrespect me in front of some bitches? And the girls was looking at me like, damn, nigga, he just disrespected you. So I'm like, well, player. I'm like, hold on, player, what's up? And the minute I said that, the guy kind of ran up on me like, hey, what's up? What you want to do? He ran up on me without a second hesitation. So the guy was walking up on me. Arturo Gatti was about to swing on me. And mind you, he's a short dude. He's a little dude. And I'm 6'5", so I wasn't threatened. And again, I don't know who this guy is. So this guy's about to run up on me, and he's looking like he looked like he was coked out of his mind. The guy was on one. This guy was on one. This guy was looking crazy as cat shit. So he's about to run up on me. So I'm thinking quick. I'm like, how many people are with this dude? I don't know how many people in that room with him. So let me think real quick. So I grabbed this nigga, turned him around, and then got him in a headlock. Then I opened the elevator door and I backed up into the elevator. Now, all you players out there, if you ever get into a street fight, any kind of fight, always put your back up against the wall. Don't ever put yourself in a situation where you might get surrounded by other cats. And that's what I was thinking. I'm like, okay, if people hear a ruckus out here, I don't want to get surrounded and niggas try to jump me. So let me go somewhere and put my back up against the wall. Let me go to a safe place so I can deal with this dude one-on-one. So I grab him and pull him into the elevator. Then I hurry up and I close the door and I stop the elevator so nobody could get in. So while we're in the elevator, this is 100% accurate. This is no bullshit. So we're in the elevator. I start bashing his head up against the wall in the elevator. I wasn't really trying to hurt him, because again, he wasn't a threat. I'm just trying to shake him up and disarm him to let him know, don't run up on me. What the fuck is wrong with you? So I'm bashing his head into the door. And he's getting bruised up a little bit. So I open the door back up of the elevator and I push him out. He's all disoriented now. And I hear his partner like, Arturo. His partner is calling him. I open the elevator door and I tell the girls, bring your asses on in here. We immediately close the elevator door. We go downstairs. I'm like, okay, let's split up, because I'm thinking, okay, the security cameras might have caught this. Somebody might have called the cops. And this happened like very, very quickly. So I'm like, okay, look, I'm going to walk down Avenue of the Stars to Olympic Boulevard. Y'all go get the car from valet. Then y'all meet me around the corner. It turned into some old Mission Impossible shit. I mean, this happened, and it all happened all but 30, 45 seconds. This all happened very quickly. So a few months later, I'm looking at ESPN. I'm just flicking the channels, and I'm like, I see this guy, and they're like, Arturo Gotti in this corner. I'm like, wait a minute, this is the dude that I had to touch up a little bit in the goddamn elevator. So that's how I knew it was him. And the thing is, I'm not saying this because I'm some gangster cock diesel dude. If I had known he was a professional boxer, I probably would have tried to hurt the guy, because I'm like, I would have probably felt a little more threatened, but I wasn't threatened by the guy. I was just trying to disarm the dude. But the point is that this guy was on one. So when they said he got killed, in a way, I wasn't that surprised, because this guy is crazy as fucking cat shit. I learned that in 30 seconds of dealing with this dude. He's either crazy as cat shit or he has the heart of a lion, but this dude did not give a fuck. I don't know what kind of boxer he was, but that nigga had heart, or he was crazy as hell. And that's what happened. That's my Hollywood true story. But I digress. Anyway, y'all, we're going to get into some good game. Y'all want to hear about the Gigolo game. That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the Gigolo game. How to step your financial game up. Now, two things inspired me to do this show. It was a story that one of my listeners sent me about this Gigolo, this well-known Gigolo over in Europe. And one of my listeners sent an email asking how he can step his money game up with this female he has dealings with. Now, there was a story in the news a couple of months ago about a guy known as the Swiss Gigolo. His name was Helge Sarby. I think that's his name. It's like one of those German type names that's kind of hard to pronounce. So I think his name was Helge Sarby. But if you go to Google and look up Swiss Gigolo, you'll see the story about this guy. This guy, he was sentenced to 6 years in prison because of blackmail. See, he took the game a little bit too far, but he was very thorough in the way he was handling his business. I have to pop my collar to him to a certain degree. This guy, he was a trained lawyer, and he would go around Switzerland and all over Europe, and he would meet rich women, preferably married rich women. That was his hustle. And he would have affairs with them. And a lot of times, some cases, he would videotape them having sex. And he'll extort money out of them. In some cases, but in most cases, he just put the game down on them and just said, hey, let me hold something. And this dude was getting like millions of dollars from women. He made sure to get women who were like countesses and heiress to big fortunes. And he was getting broke off $5-6 million on a regular. I mean, this guy spoke 6 languages. He was very thorough with his game. The problem is he got a little bit greedy. He had one lady who was the heiress of the BMW fortune, a lady named Suzanne Clayton. And this woman has real money, she ain't rich. This is wealthy. This woman had real money, the BMW money. serious money. So she was married. This woman is married with a family. So he met her. He had an affair with her. And he was like, well, look, let her play a hole about $5-6 million. So he was getting it from her. He was getting nice chunk of change from this woman and other women. But then he got a little too greedy. He started telling the woman, okay, I want you to leave your family and I want you to put $300 million in a trust fund for me. See, that's where you mess up in the game. See, a lot of times you got to fall back and you got to get humble. That's what got him caught up. Because the woman didn't want to leave her family and, put damn near $250 million in a trust fund for this dude. So she went to the authorities herself. And then he got accused of blackmail. But he went too far with the game. But I commend the way he was handling his business up to then. He played for the big stakes. He would go to spas and hotels and just hang out and make it a point to meet rich women. And he was ballsy. That was a very ballsy move to do. And I kind of feel him to the degree, if you're going to do anything, you might as well be the best at it. You might as well go for the gusto. Don't half-ass do it. But you can check that story out. Go to Google and type in the Swiss Gigolo. This guy was not playing with bitches. He was getting broke off. And it's time for the fellas to step your game up. Now, you might not want to go to Europe, or you might not want to travel, or you might not be able to travel to step your game up like that, which you should. You should just be worldly. You should just go out there and see what's popping off. Because it's a great world out there, man. There's a lot of women out there. If you're really trying to get your pockets filled up, there's some women out there in Europe that's breaking bread. I have homies out here in LA, brothers that's, you see them at the club with some European chick and then they disappear. The dude, you don't see him for like 3-4 months. Then the nigga come back and he's wearing like a Hanes t-shirt with suspenders and some latex capri pants. Talking with an accent like, hello, mate. I'm like, nigga, where you been? These niggas done went somewhere and got broke off some money. They done changed their whole swagger up. And I'm not mad at them to a certain degree. But let me give you some tips on the Gigolo game. And I got this inspired me, one of the letters that I got from my listeners. He sent an email saying, what's up, Flex? The young dude, and there's this older female. She has a couple of kids, and she has a nice little chunk of change, and I'm trying to get in where I fit in. I'm trying to get a couple of dollars out of her. I'm trying to get broke off. The thing is, the woman isn't that attractive. She has a big head and she has big hands, and I'm kind of turned off to that, but she's down to break off some money, and I'm just trying to figure out how to get it. Any tips would help. So let me give you guys some tips, because I get a lot of emails like this. A lot of guys might meet a woman who has a nice little chunk of change, who might not be a dime, and they're trying to figure out a way to get their foot in the door, to get a few dollars in their pocket. Let me give you some tips, fellas. I want you to go get your pens and your paper. Now, first of all, you want to make sure the woman is qualified to give you some money. You don't want to get an old broad who's broke. That defeats the purpose. An old broke chick defeats the purpose. You don't want to get an old broke bitch working at Walgreens. You want to get an older female who has something popping off for herself. So a woman like this, in many cases, who's single, an older woman with a little paper who's single, emotionally, they're going to be open. They're going to have a few defenses up, but they're going to be open emotionally. So you can get your foot in the door. Now, if she's not that attractive, we're going to work off that premise. Because it's easy to get some money from a fine, like if Stacey Dash or Holly Berry, some cute 42, 43-year-old female who's fine as hell trying to break you off, it wouldn't be that hard to do. The difficulty is getting with one who's not that attractive. A female like this, we're going to refer to her as a sugar beast. So what you do, if you have a sugar beast that you're trying to get money from, what you want to do You want to take her out. You want to go out with her. But you don't want to embarrass yourself and you don't want to embarrass her, because if an older, unattractive woman is out with a younger, fairly decent looking dude, people are going to think stuff. People are going to know what's up. People are going to be like, oh, is that your son? You don't want to embarrass the woman. Also, you don't want to embarrass yourself, because your rep is very important in your city. You don't want the word to get out that, hey, I just saw old boy out with a Jurassic heifer. So you don't want people to think you fell off if you're out with an unattractive woman, because the word gets around. So what you want to do when you go out with a sugar beast, initially you want to go somewhere on the outskirts of whatever city you're in. You got to take her somewhere way out where don't nobody know you. Because you do want to go out with your sugar beast the first time you guys hook up with each other. You want to go out, and that's very important. And I'm going to explain why it's important to go out on a date, on a nice date. But definitely do it on the outskirts of town so nobody's embarrassed. She'll feel more comfortable. You're going to be comfortable. Don't nobody know your business. You're going to be good to go. Like if you live in Atlanta, if you live in like College Park, take her ass somewhere to Smyrna, to a restaurant out there somewhere in Gwinnett County or something. If you live in LA, take her somewhere up in Thousand Oaks in Ventura County somewhere. If you live in New Orleans, take her out to Baton Rouge. Just drive way off somewhere where don't nobody know neither one of you. If you live in Brooklyn, take her ass to Yonkers. Now, when you go out with your sugar beast, you be on your P's and Q's. Dress real fly. You want to get groomed up. You want to look as fly as possible. Forget that t-shirt do-rag bullshit. You want to look like money. If you look like money, you will attract money. If you look like money should be in your pocket, money will come in your pocket. You want to look mature. You want to get your grown man on. Wear the type of shit that you'll wear to court or wear to church or wear to a funeral. Wear something like that. Now, when you go out far off in the suburbs with your sugar beast, I don't give a damn how unattractive she is. I don't give a shit. Treat her ass like she's Gabrielle Union. You got to cupcake with her a little bit. Not too much, but just a little bit. You got to put some Keith Sweat in the game. But not too much. What you want to do is talk about how tired you are of being a player. Just say shit like, I'm trying to settle down with one woman, trying to get my mind right. I'm trying to eventually raise a family. You got to talk that type of game. Now, you don't want to say nothing like, okay, I want to be your man. You don't want to make it definitive. You always have to put it up in the air. Like, I'm trying to settle down. I'm trying to find a good relationship. Put it in the air, but don't make it definitive. Because the thing is, the intrigue with women is in the challenge. The intrigue is in the chase. The intrigue is going to be trying to convince you to be in a relationship. That's how you're going to get your money. That's how you're going to pique the woman's interest. Don't sit up and say, okay, I'm ready to be your man. There's no intrigue no more. There's no chase. So always put it in the air. I'm trying to settle down. I want to get my mind right. Also, you got to kind of hint at your finances. Like, you know what? I'm trying to go to school for business. I'm trying to start my own construction business. You got to put that out there too. You got to already plant the seeds of what your financial situation is. Don't step to women, because I'm saying this because when you're out with a person and you're chopping up game with them, people are going to say, okay, what are you doing with yourself? Are you working? What are you trying to do with yourself? Where do you see yourself? That conversation usually comes up, especially with an older woman. So you better be ready to say some grown man shit. When a woman starts saying, okay, what do you do? What are you trying to do with yourself? Don't say, I'm trying to be a rapper. That's the last thing you say, which most of you young niggas want to be rappers now. And you don't do that for two reasons. Number one, every nigga in the hood wants to be a rapper. Women, they hear that a million times a day. And women are tired of hearing that. And number two, if you out with a sugar beast and you're trying to be an aspiring rapper, she knows if you do become a big time rapper, you're not going to be with her. She knows this, that she's not going to support that. She knows the minute you get a record deal or whatever, you're going to drop her like a hot turd. So you don't want to do the aspiring rapper route. Don't ever say that. I don't give a fuck if you can rap like Rakim. Don't even say nothing about it. Just keep that on the low. So you want to say stuff, I'm trying to get a business going on. I'm trying to get my real estate license. You got to say real fly grown man shit to make her want to invest in that, because that's the thing. You're going to get her ass to invest in some of your motherfucking dreams. So when you're out with your sugar beast and you're chopping up game, you're treating her nice, you're whining and dining. On the first date, listen to me, fellas, on the first date, you don't want to hit it. Don't try to hit it, because a lot of fellas, like if you're out with a female and the female is kind of toe back, a lot of guys are like, well, shit, I need to get my dick sucked by this bitch or something. You think like that. Like, I need to get something out of this. I'm out here sacrificing my time with this raunchy looking motherfucking broad. I need to get something. Don't think like that, because see, unattractive women are used to dudes just hitting it and quitting it. Unattractive women are used to dudes trying to just bang them and run off. They're used to that. So you don't want to go that route. Even if she's trying to give it to you, you back off from it. You make yourself seem larger than that. No. I don't want to do that, babe. No. I don't give a damn if she's throwing it at you. And a lot of these old bras that try to throw it at you. But you got to play it to the left. Like, no. I'm not. That's not what I'm about. No. Put your dentures back in now. I'm not trying to get no oral from you. Just chill. I'm trying to get to know you as a person. You got to play that real square Mr. Goody Two Shoes route with them on the first date. See, you want to appear to be into her as a woman. You don't want to seem like make her into a jump off. So you got to be larger than that. See, you save the sex if you're going to have it for the second time you hook up with it. Now, the second time you hook up with the sugar beast, and again, on the first date, you go out, you have a good time, give her a kiss on the cheek good night, and say, okay, I'll be glad when we hook up again. You got to be on some gentleman shit. Now, the second time that you hook up with her, you might have to hit it. But the good thing is, if she's a beast, you just got to hit it one time. But you got to hit it real good one time. Now, I know that might be kind of difficult if the woman looks like a baby jackal. So before you go over to her spot, you have to get your mind and your body right. You got to drink some ginseng and take some protein powder and a couple of one-a-day tablets to get your libido up. And even though to get your mind right, I'm not a big advocate of drinking, but you might have to get you a little taste of Patron before you go over there. You might have to just take a little shot of Ciroc or some Hennessy, just a shot. Don't go overboard. You don't want to go over there belligerent, but just get your mind right. Do what you got to do to get your mind right. Now, when you go over there for the second time, you hit it real good, and that's it. You don't have to hit it no more. You make that first date and that first sexual liaison. It's like the first hit of the pipe. You make the first hit real good, and people keep coming back trying to get another hit like that. But that first hit is very euphoric. People who do drugs, people who drink, a lot of people who are on heroin, on crack, they always say that first high is the best. And they become an addict because they keep trying to chase that first high, but they never get it. And that's what you want to do. You want to hit that ass and you wine and dine the chick one good time and have her chasing that. So she'll do whatever she can do to get that again. And it may or may not ever happen. So once you hit it, and then you guys are still corresponding, and she's like, hey, let's go out again. Hey, why don't you come over again? That's when you got to start dropping the ball. Like, ooh, I would love to go out, but man, my mind is on this damn rent. Boy, my mind is on this rent. Then she's going to be like, hey, I got you. You dig me? If she wants to go to the movies, hey, let's go to the movies. I would love to go to the movies, but man, this card note has me stressing. Wow, I'm really stressing about this card note. I got you. If you play it like that, I promise you get you some paper. Just got to be real cool with it. You got to be patient. Patience is a virtue. That's the whole thing. Don't rush. You got to pace everything. Patience is a motherfucker. You'll get you some money if you're patient with the game and do it just like I said. Then you can go for the real gusto. Like, look, babe, I'm really trying to get this business going on. I need about $2,000-3,000 of them dollars to get this business going on. And you'll get that with ease if she's a down ass chick and you've been playing the game correctly and not following the woman. That's the thing. You don't want to follow the woman. You always want to be independent of of the game. You want to do your own thing. You always want to be like, I don't need your shit, which you don't. You never put yourself in a position where you need a person's paper. See, when a person sees that you don't need them, they have better respect for you in the game. They'll come at you correctly, especially women. If a woman finds out that you're dependent upon her, that's when they act a fucking fool. They act crazy if they know that you're dependent on her. No, they start disrespecting. So women are real funny style like that. So don't ever give her the impression that you need her. Don't ever put yourself in a position that you need her. It's always like, look, if you want to break bread, that's cool. If not, I'm cool too, but I ain't fucking with you. You're going to have to come out that damn purse. And these old broads, they be down, especially the ones who still try to be fly. Because really, you get a lot of money out the ones that still fly before you get the money out of a sugar beast. The sugar beast, they will break bread. But it's the real fine ones, they really break bread. While you're bullshitting. But anyway, if you want to know more game like that, go get the Mack Lessons pay-per-view special, Mackin' for Money. I go real deep into it. I spent a whole hour on how to get your money. Very good game on that show. Go to MackLessons.com and get Mackin' for Money. Anyway, y'all, that's been today's episode of the Mack Lessons Radio Show. This weekend, I will be down in Atlanta. I'll stop through Birmingham on Friday and Saturday, and I'll be in Atlanta on Sunday. So all my Atlanta folks, let me know what's cracking in Atlanta. All my Atlanta folks, hit me up. Give me the hookup. Anybody got the hookup on hotels? My boy hooked me up with the rental car spot in Atlanta last time I was down there, man. So I love the hookups down there, man. Hit me up on Twitter /Tariq Nasheed. All my Atlanta folks, let me know what clubs are popping off. Not strip clubs. Don't hit me up with no goddamn strip clubs. I don't do strip joints. I do regular shit. All right, y'all hit me up, man. I love y'all. Peace.